Hey everybody, James Yeager with Tactical Response. Thanks for watching. Well, I've just come in off, as I film this, it's about after 9 p.m. I just come in off a 10-hour road trip, and I got a UPS notification that this stuff was here, and it came right up to the shop to check it out. So if you've ever seen my friend Lars, who is Survival Russia on YouTube, I started watching his YouTube stuff over a year ago, and he's this Swedish guy that has found himself in Siberia, and he does all these videos. He's got some cool track vehicles and stuff like that, but he had this tent that's a cold weather tent, a Russian-made cold weather tent, and I just thought it was so neat. And they finally started importing these into the U.S., so you can find links underneath to buy them, so you don't have to pay the huge shipping costs to get them across from Russia. This is a true unboxing. This, I believe, is the tent from the videos I've watched. This, I believe, is the tent. It looks like it got kicked out of a plane and landed here at the shop. It has not been treated well by the shipping folks. This one is the only one that's kind of light, and I believe this is probably the floor. And then this is a stove, I believe. It sounds kind of metally, kind of a stove. And so this is just an unboxing vid, and I'm gonna do another vid of setup and stuff like that. And I'm gonna use this thing this year, like definitely. Now, as I film this, it is spring in Tennessee. And if you guys are watching any of my bug out videos, I don't like doing camping kind of stuff in the summer. Snakes, it's hot, it's hard to sleep, mosquitoes, bugs, and all that stuff. And you know, and if I can't build a fire for people to make fun of, how am I going to do it? So I'm gonna play around with this thing and then really put it to some use this winter. But Lars over on Survival Russia, go check out his channel, subscribe. He's a really good guy. I really like him. But he did a video with this tent where he stays out in the Siberian forest with this thing and that stove, and just seems to do wonderfully. Yeah, he seems to do well. And so I was just like, man, I got to get one of those. So they import these to the US now. And so here we are. So this is going to be a real true unboxing. I don't have enough table space here. Make sure I stay on the camera. But this is how it came. It's kind of beat up when it got here. And always be careful when you're opening stuff that's, you know, made out of waterproof material. Looks like it's wrapped inside of this package very well. So kudos to them for their packaging. This thing seems to be intact. Now, again, if it was dropped out of a plane, oh wow. If it was dropped out of a plane, there might be some internal damage, but so far it looks pretty good. I'll just tell you right now, from the case that it's in, this thing is heavy duty, and as you can expect, this is not light. I don't know how much this weighs, but it's a fairly heavy thing. This is the if you look at their models on their website, this is the UP5, the UP5, and they got all kinds of tents on their website. If you check them out, like military style stuff. This is one of their biggest like pop-up kind of a thing, but they've got some really neat military style tents and stuff like that. And if you're kind of a fan of Russian gear and stuff like that, you might want to poke around the website. But just right off the bat, this bag that it comes in, you know, we're used to a tent coming in like a little cheap nylon thing. I think they could probably just sell these bags. This is for a duffel bag or a go bag. It feels waterproofy, but I mean it's pretty cool. Pretty cool bag. Well, I'll just kind of set that aside for now. I don't know how much I want to get into that for this initial video. Again, easy browse blades, easy with my knife as I open this. I don't want to cut any of the nylon. I'd have hated to have cut that awesome bag open. And one of the things that was intriguing about this tent is that it's double walled, and I'll show you that when I put it up. But it also has a double layer available, a double layer floor. And the cool thing about the floor is, number one, it's an option if you don't want it, and you don't have to have it in there. Like sometimes you might want to outfit the tent with the floor, sometimes without. Again, nice heavy bag. No shame in your game. And a knot that I can't untie, some kind of Russian knot. As a child of the Cold War, I was like many of you guys, I was always fascinated with Russian things, and of course, for most American, that manifests itself with an AK-47 or 74, the Suchka, the Krinkov. The Russians don't call it a Krinkov. They don't exactly know where that word came from. I think the rumor I've heard is the Afghanis may have killed a Russian whose name was Krinkov, and so when they took the gun from him, that's what they called it. But Suchka, the little bitch. That's all the Russian I know. So this is the floor. Wow, this is double thick. Double thickened. This is like a quilt. Like if this thing, and I assume it's waterproof, you wouldn't even need the tent. You could just like wrap up in this thing. I'm not even joking. Like this thing is super thick. And for you guys, you alumni that are going to come to, we do the alumni camp out, bug out in the cold months. Come on out, check this thing out. Pretty cool. This is like a legit, like quilted floor. Wow, this is really neat. Really neat. I'm gonna put this stuff up. If it wasn't so late, I'd put the tent up tonight. I'll probably do it tomorrow, right here in the floor, just right here so you can see it. And then the stove. And I think this was the first video I saw on Survival Rush's channel. And guys, if you go and you like Survival Rush's channel, visit his stores below and join his Patreon. Kick him a buck, because this dude goes out when it's freezing out and does videos for us. So I'm one of his Patreons. I was checking to see if it was in English, and it is. And the Russian English is way better than the Chinese English. So let's see if I can get a hold of this thing. And it also comes with a carrying bag. Like I said, these bags are far more heavy duty than you would get with like just a regular old tent or whatever. I know it seems like I'm doing a video about these bags, but I'm just like impressed, And like I said, as a child of the Cold War, there's always I was as an American, as a boy growing up watching movies like Red Dawn and things like that, I always had a fascination about Russian military equipment and Russian people in general. And then you guys remember that time that we had Obama as president and they had Putin, and like they had a cooler president than we did. I'm sure that just made some people mad, but Obama was horrible, no matter what you think. So, again, just taking a look at the stove, and these panels. I better read the directions because I've seen Lars take them off. I see the screws here. These panels come off and expose glass windows. Don't want to break anything here. There we go. And they expose some glass windows that they say transfers heat much better than the stainless steel. And so just looking at the construction of this, it's very Russian. And I don't mean that negatively. Don't hear that as negative. But like the weld around the pipe is it doesn't look pretty, but it looks like it will always hold. Just the metal work on the handles and such. It looks, again, it's like they said, we don't really care if it's pretty, we care how functional it is. And I know I and many of you appreciate that, the functionality over the form of these things. And so I think it's going to be neat. And I've always wanted to do a hot tent camping, and I've always been afraid to set the tent on fire. And so pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, now I've got all this stuff all over the place, but I'll do another video tomorrow where I'll just take all this stuff out and set it up and let you guys see how it goes. But I am intrigued, to say the least. Thanks to Lars for introducing me to these gentlemen. Their English is far better than my Russian. They seem like very nice people. But I am I am really, genuinely, I don't ever lie to you guys, but I'm genuinely excited to actually use this stuff, get it out, and this winter when it gets cold, do some cold weather, some hot tent camping, something like that. Maybe go somewhere where there's like real snow instead of just cold here. Go somewhere there's real snow. Maybe some of us can get together and go do that somewhere. That'd be a good experiment. And for you guys that have these tents, what do you think about these guys? And if you don't have one of these tents, let me know if you get interested in them. The guys, they're trying to get into the U.S. market here. And I'm just telling you, like right now, if you do anything that involves camping when it's cold, I have never seen a tent that has the cold weather capacity that this one does. The double floors, the double walls, that's made for a stove. You don't have to buy a stove and cut a hole in the roof. This thing's got it. And what do you see? The door on it and all that stuff. What did I get it put together? But I'm just telling you, as an initial, I've watched Lars' videos. I've watched other people's videos. I can't understand what they're saying because they're Russian, but I've watched the videos, and I've seen, again, go back to Survival Russia, and he's a very genuine person. And so when he said these were great and I saw the videos, I had to reach out to this company, and this is just wonderful stuff. Like, it really is. I'm just like, you can ask my wife. I said, oh, it's I saw my UPS notification. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go to the shop and check this stuff out. She said, okay, And if it wasn't so late, I'd put it all together right now. But just first touch of this stuff, again, all quality. besides an AK, I don't think I've ever owned anything Russian. So this is actually pretty cool for me. Again, a child of the Cold War. I always had a fascination with Russian militaria, and so this is neat for me. This is very neat, and I hope you guys enjoy this series that I'll do on this. But big shout out to the guys. I'll put the link for the American side. I'll put that down below for you guys to check them out. Now, if you're looking for cheap, you're not going to get cheap. You know, I just told you best cold weather tent in the world. So if you're looking for cheap, you're looking for a $250 tent, this is not it. So I'm just going to warn you guys. So I don't want anybody to come back crying. This stuff is for real. This tent, like I don't know, probably, I don't know, 50 pounds. Like, it's not a backpacking tent. This is like a real thing. It's pretty cool. But don't get on here because you can't afford something and start complaining. Every time I show something expensive like a Cabot 1911, people start crying. Listen, if you want nicer stuff, work harder. Like I told you, I drove 10 hours today and I'm still at work. This is James Yeager for Tactical Response, reminding you that your responsibility to be ready for the fight or to sleep at night never ends.